I have been spending over an hour on a homework thing and I posted it wrong, so it's going to show up on my channel as though it is something I want people to watch, which people don't even watch my channel, so it doesn't even matter. But like, oh my god, I hate this so much. It was just so fucking dumb. Like, okay, I understand genetic mutations, and like 101, I could probably explain a genetic mutation with swearing and all of that shit, but I couldn't fucking do that because I'm sending it to my fucking teacher, and I didn't want her to be like, language, because she's already censored me in my notebook. I wrote, God fucking damn it or something, and she like crossed it out with a green pen and wrote language next to it. It was on my front page, which is a page dedicated to anything about me. And I don't know, I really appreciate Miss Covey. She's a really good teacher, but it's also like I could talk so much more fluently with swearing because that's part of my speech pattern. And it's a problem that it's part of my speech pattern because it makes me seem uneducated, because I was actually told last week that I was uneducated because I said fuck to my friend, which is a problem for me because not only am I not uneducated, I'm also like, I have a very big vocabulary. I was taught as a child to have a very big vocabulary. I was not given an option to not want to go to college. I was not given an option to not, talk about things and articulate my feelings. And you can ask pretty much anybody who knows me. I'm very emotionally stable and very good at conveying how I feel, and I'm very good at writing, and I'm very good at science, and very good at a lot of things that most teenagers aren't very good at because, I'm emotionally mature. And being called, this is becoming a rant, but I was told by somebody who didn't even know me that I was uneducated and I must have had a small vocabulary. And, of course it was an avid teacher, and he's one of those avid teachers to look down upon people who, aren't in avid. But I don't think what he doesn't understand is all of my friends who are in avid don't want to go to college anymore because of avid. Because Avid is painting it as this villainous thing and painting it as extra hard and all of this stuff, when in reality college is probably going to be better for me because college is more fluid when it comes to scheduling. I have different classes. I don't have to wake up every single morning at 6 in the morning to shower and then leave the house by 7 so I can walk to school and be there at 7:15 to meet all of my friends at 7:30. Like, I won't have to have that because my schedule will be super fluid. I'll have a job. I'll have all of these other things rather than just school, because at this point, school is the only thing I really have that's consistent. And it's a problem for me because, I'm 15. I want to be a teenager and I can't really do that. And on top of it, I'm out of school for 6 hours to 7 hours a day. And I'm being called uneducated on campus. That's really sad. That's really hurtful. That's really harmful. It made me not want to go to school. It made me want to leave campus. It makes me not want to be there. And school, I should want to be there. I shouldn't be looked down upon by a teacher who doesn't even know me because he had one encounter with me where he was sitting next to my group and I said fuck to my friend. That is a problem, by the way. Me telling my friend, oh, fuck off, or like making a joke to my friend where I say fuck or I say any curse word and then I'm being called uneducated because I couldn't think of a better term. That is actual bullshit, because I can think of so many better things. I could write so many other things. I could have written that person a poem and told them how their point of view was stupid. I could talk to him as a human being and be like, hey, like, you may have called me uneducated, but I just wanted to let you know that my mom is an actual genius. My grandfather is an actual genius. My dad went to college late, but still has a really good degree. Like, my family, we are very intelligent people, and for you to call me uneducated because you heard me say a swear word, especially as a child, I used to get yelled at for expressing myself that way, is really harmful because you don't know who you're talking about. You don't know why I use those words. You don't know what it could possibly be, because to me, being able to swear is a sense of freedom, because as a child, it was one of the things I couldn't do. And being able to express myself with swear words and different types of language, even though it may not be orthodox to your ideologies, it's so freeing, because it's like, that's my word and I'm allowed to use those words and I'm allowed to feel empowered through those words. And that's why I call myself a faggot. That's why I call myself a tranny, because those words have been used against me so many times, and now I can finally say them about myself and feel confident and feel comfortable. And it's similar to swear words. A lot of kids don't have the knowledge of, it's okay to use language, and it's okay to use, there's no bad words, there's just poorly used words. That's what my mother used to say. But then she would treat them as though it was a bad word, and treat them as though it was, me saying something insensitive or making a rape joke. Like, she would treat me saying certain things as me being a problem child, and that's not what I want. That's not what I need. And I'm very still offended by that, because how dare you? Like, how dare you look at me and just call me uneducated? Like, you don't know who I am. You've never spoken to me. I've never seen you on campus, and yeah, I'm a freshman, but if I've never seen you on campus, and like my first schedule, it was like ping-pong me across the fucking campus, and like even now my schedule ping-pongs me across the campus, and I've never seen you, where are you? Where are you hiding? Like, I've sat here every morning since my first day of school. Why is this the first time I'm seeing you? And of course, he was a part of the Avid field trip, which he canceled, which, my friends are so angry about that. And I really am mad at Del Campo, because they couldn't come up with like a second bus company. They had to fucking choose that one bus company that apparently they canceled the trip last year too. Like, that's on Del Campo's shit. And that's on your planning team. Your planning team's fucking uneducated and fucking, like, stupid. Like, I'm not stupid. Your planning team couldn't even figure out to get, if that bus doesn't work, get a backup bus. If those buses don't work, you should have another backup bus. You should have a bus, and then have another bus company where if, hey, can we have a bus immediately? Like, we need to reserve a bus immediately just in case. Like, that should be a conversation you guys are having. That is a basic common sense thing. And you couldn't even do that. And you couldn't even get a school bus. You couldn't get any type of bus to shuttle your children, which you had promised them this trip. Like, that's actual bullshit. And when adults fuck up, it fucks up everything. When adults fuck up, it teaches kids that it's okay to make mistakes like this. And it's not. That's not okay. You ruined a bunch of kids' fucking days. And I think the worst thing is the teachers didn't even show up to class. The teachers who had subs didn't even show up to class and told the kids, no, you have to go to class. And when the kids said, hey, we don't have supplies, we don't have our backpacks, we don't have pencils, we don't have food, we don't have anything, they were told to go to class anyway, even though their parents allowed them to leave the campus that day. Like, how are you going to do that? How are you going to actually plague their education? Because their education is being plagued. They couldn't properly learn that day because they didn't have paper or pencils or their notebooks or their books. They couldn't properly learn that day because we had, in my English class, we had people presenting, and those people were there, and they had said that they were going to present the day before and the day after the trip. And those people were asked whether they could present or not because they were there. Like, we couldn't properly learn that day because my friends, were really upset about that. And that's on you guys. Adults should have a backup plan. Adults should have some sort of shit to, like, combat. You guys should have a safety net, and you guys don't. And that's a problem. And another problem I'm having, and this is more recent, kids decide to assault me all the time. It's because I'm trans. This dude straight up threw a fucking eraser at me. He was a kid who used to make fun of me in middle school. And when I said anything about it, like, I told the sub who was there in my art class, it's fine. Assholes are going to get away with it. She was like, well, I want you to watch your language. And she did nothing about it. She didn't send them out of the class. She didn't call somebody. She did absolutely nothing about it. So I just want you to know that if you're going to send your child to Del Campo, expect staff who's going to call your child uneducated if they hear them say a swear word. They're going to have staff who are incompetent and can't fucking order another goddamn bus. And we're going to have staff who are going to ignore blatant homophobia and transphobia on campus. So if you are a homophobic, transphobic, white cis person who, has absolutely no problem with your child being basically verbally abused on campus, because I've heard worse things from other teachers, not at me but at my friends and shit, and I've heard worse things about other teachers and other staff members, I would suggest sending your kid there. But if you actually care about your child, you wouldn't send them there, because it took me over half the year to find somebody on campus I trusted, and that's Miss Rice and Miss Covey. That's crazy. I only have 2 staff members that I really hardcore trust on campus at all times. And Miss Rice isn't always there. And that's sad. That's really sad. That I don't have a safe space. Because I can't, quite frankly, I can't trust the principal. I can't trust Mr. Snyder. I can't trust any other teacher I've had, because they may be nice, but they're not trustworthy. They may be accepting, but they're not accepting. Like, it's basically, okay, the only people you can trust on campus ever: the librarian, Miss Wallenberg, she's great; Miss Rice, who is a social worker, that's her job description; and Miss Covey, who is a biology teacher. All you can trust on campus. That's the only adults that I've had positive interactions with that stuck with me. Because I've had problems with Mr. Snyder. When I told him not to out me, he told me I didn't understand the context of the conversation, which, regardless of the context of the conversation, he shouldn't have said, "These are the students who are changing the staff bathroom." That was not his place. When I said I was uncomfortable with that, he told me that I didn't understand what I was talking about, which is ironic because, when a transgender student comes to you saying, "You shouldn't say this about me being transgender," you should probably listen to them, especially when you're a cis male. Like, I'm sorry. That's just what you should do. One of the other VPs, I don't know her name, but when I told her I had attempted suicide the day before, she told me I was very proud of that. And that's another thing that I never thought I would ever have to say to somebody. I never thought that I would ever be told that I looked proud of the fact that I attempted suicide. Mr. Euler's been nothing but nice to me, but I don't exactly trust him, and that's because if I can't trust 2 out of the, higher ups, how am I going to trust you? The rest of your staff has plagued the water, and that's a problem. That's a problem. And on top of the whole, everyone dropped the ball on the whole baby doll thing. There was a black baby doll found hanging in the girls' locker room, and the entire staff of Del Campo totally dropped the ball on that one. And that's really sad. And then I think the saddest part is, there's speculation still around campus about who did it, and nobody said anything about her. And that's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad campus. It feels wrong to walk onto campus every morning. It feels sad to walk onto campus every morning, and I shouldn't feel sad. I should feel at home, because I'm spending 6 hours of my day there. That's most of the daylight I'm spending most of the daylight at all of the day. I am spending at school. Of my week, I am spending 5 out of the 7 days there. I should feel some sense of home. I should feel some sense of safeness. I should feel some sense of security, and I haven't been, and that's so sad. It's so sad. And it's not anything as bad as my middle school experience at APG and NE, but it's still really sad. It's still really gross. And, I wish things would be better, and they're really not. And things have been not going great with me personally. My own physical transition has not been going great. My parents are still very against testosterone, which is very detrimental to my mental health. But, I realize that it's a process, and it's going to be a long process. And, I'm not going to get any respect, and I mean any respect, from anybody until I start testosterone. I'm not going to look male until I start testosterone. I'm going to be continued to be assaulted until I start testosterone. I'm going to be continued to be harassed until I start testosterone. And they don't realize that. They don't realize that testosterone not only will make me feel better, but also, stop the kids from throwing shit at me. It'll make me feel safer to use the men's room at school, which I feel more unsafe using the men's room at school than I do using the men's room in public. Like, I probably have a higher chance of being assaulted in the men's room at school than I do being assaulted in the men's room in public. And that's sad. That's really sad. I wish that campus was a safe space for me. I wish that campus was a safe space for everybody, and it's not. I don't think anyone feels safe on campus at all times. I don't think anybody can tell you I've had not a single problem on campus. I don't think any single person can tell you I felt like the situation was properly handled, and that is a problem. Because like I said, when adults fuck up, everyone else gets fucked over. When adults fuck up, it's everyone else's fucking problem. It teaches kids it's okay to fuck up to this degree when it's not. It's not okay. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this video is going to be a 1 minute long video of, I fucked up and posted the wrong thing, and it's now becoming a 16-minute rant. So, kind of how shit goes, I guess. Anyway, I got 7,000 followers on TikTok, and that kind of makes me want to throw up, because that's gross. It's really gross, but, whatever. Later.